The Rays kicked off their 20th anniversary season in grand style yesterday, rallying from a 4-run deficit in the 8th, highlighted by Tampa native Denard Span's 3-run triple to down the Red Sox 6-4. Tonight, the past meets the present, with former Rays ace David Price facing future star left-hander Blake Snell in Game 2 from the top. Following last night's big come-from-behind victory on opening day, the Rays and the Red Sox go at it tonight. The opening week presented by Humana. Rays and the Red Sox in Game 2 of this 4-game series. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. So good to have you with us. Well, I'm not sure you could have written a better script than what we saw yesterday. And the two teams will follow it up tonight with a great pitching matchup. Two premier left-handers, one who already has established himself, and the other one who appears to be well on the way to that.
Listen, this is going to be a fun one for sure. Let's start with the Rays end of it and Blake Snell, and talk about turning the corner. That's what he did a season ago, his last 10 starts. You look at the numbers, they're outstanding, and I think the reason is twofold. Number one, the fastball command got better. What that does is put you into favorable counts. However, even when he did fall behind, it was the willingness to throw his off speed in those fastball counts that allowed him to stay unpredictable, and boy did he put it together. 5-1, 284, and a 197 opponent's average the last 10 starts. David Price against the Rays after leaving the Rays, been kind of a mixed bag. Record 3-3, ERA of over 4. However, 5 career starts as a visitor in this building. He's given up 2 earned or fewer in 3 of the 5. Much better peripheral numbers, and you know that he's going to be motivated here tonight because of the tough loss that his team took yesterday afternoon. Rays offense better be ready to go.
So 2 lefties, David Price, Blake Snell to square off in just a few moments. Yesterday's star for the Rays, a homecoming and then some for Denard Span, delivering that big 3 RBI triple en route to the Rays victory. Michelle will talk with him when we come back. right there, a key part of that. For more on all of that, let's go to the field and Michelle Margot. Michelle?
Thanks, Dwayne. Well, as you can imagine, the Rays are still very excited about last night's win, and they can credit that, like you said, to Denard Span. Bases were loaded with 2 outs in the 8th inning when he hit this 3-run triple off of Carson Smith to put the Rays ahead. They were down by 2, and he had never faced him in his career before this. Now let's take a look at this hometown hero's accomplishments here in the Tampa Bay area. Not only did he play baseball at Tampa Catholic High School, but he also played football. He won a state baseball championship and was inducted into the Tampa Catholic Hall of Fame. And I spoke with him after last night's big win about his first game in a Rays uniform here in his hometown.
It's been a long off season for me. Uncertainty, not sure what was going to happen, and no better feeling to come out here and help this ball club win today.
You could tell there was an extra level of joy and elation after the game. I doubt that Denard's been playing for almost 10 years. I doubt he's been that excited. And he's played in big games, but it was a great moment for the team and him as well.
And when we come back, it is a battle of the Southpaws as Blake Snell and the Tampa Bay Rays face former Ray David Price and the Boston Red Sox. Dwayne and BA have the call. Next, we'll be right back.
Center field. Kiermaier and Span all the way back. It's Kiermaier. Kiermaier with a leaping catch. And that's the way this one begins. And a shot back into right. Well tagged. Kiermaier scores. Gomez scores. And the Rays take the lead. How about that? Climbing back from a 4-0 deficit, the Rays were winners in the opening game of the season. And tonight in Game 2, they will send the left-hander Blake Snell to the hill. The young lefty, just 25 years old. And here is the lineup put together by the Boston Red Sox, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Mookie Betts leads it off again, followed by Andrew Benintendi and Hanley Ramirez. J.D. Martinez hits in the 4th spot, the DH. Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, Eduardo Nunez, Jackie Bradley Jr. and Christian Vasquez will do the catching again and hit 9th. All set to go to work. And the first pitch of this game from the lefty is ball one. Fastball, good velocity right from the get-go at 97. Betts with 24 home runs last year, 1 for 4 yesterday with a caught stealing. He was only caught stealing 3 times all of last year.
He knows how to pick his spots. His technique is very good. One of those guys in this game, well-rounded offensive player, can hurt you a lot of different ways.
2-0 the count. Pumped foul that will carry into the seats. 2-1.
Well, we talked about Blake Snell in his last 10 starts where he really turned the corner for the Rays. Overall, these were the season numbers. Did not have a win before the All-Star break. Picked up all 5 of those wins at that point and really continued it with a strong spring here coming in. And so you figure that he is on point here tonight.
Down 3 balls and a strike. Well, he finished strong last year, coming back up from the minor leagues. Pitched well to end the season, had a good spring, and really starts this game with a positive vibe about his outlook for this season. That's going to wind up out of play, and the count is full. 3-2, and boy, you look at the difference last year for Blake to start the year and the way he finished. 0-6, turned it around, 5-1 to finish overall 5-7. High popper on the infield. Daniel Robertson lost it, and coming over to grab it is Brad Miller. Robertson waiting for that towering pop to come down, lost it, and Miller came over from first to save the day.
Well, let's take a look at that Rays defense. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source, and in that outfield left to right, you're going to have Rob Refsnyder, Kevin Kiermaier, and Carlos Gomez, and across that infield third to first, Matt Duffy, Adeiny Echeverria, Daniel Robertson, and Brad Miller. Wilson Ramos once again will be behind the plate.
Here's Andrew Benintendi, which is down and away. Benintendi 0 for 4 in the game yesterday. Retired once on a good play by Robertson at second. This one is fouled back, and now it's 1-1. Robertson still trying to figure out how he lost that popper, and Miller bailed him out.
Asking Manny Gonzalez, second base umpire, if he saw it. Oh, we know. We've seen visitors come in here and really struggle with the roof here at Tropicana Field, so it is not easy at all. And if you lose sight of that ball, even for a split second, very difficult to pick it back up.
The chop right side, charged by Robertson. A little toss to Miller. 2 up and 2 down. And Hanley Ramirez heads to the plate. Ramirez 23 home runs a year ago. 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday. Been in the opening day lineup for the Red Sox now in the last 4 years. It's a strike. He was the first baseman yesterday. He's played left field for them, DH'd, and at first biding some time with Mitch Moreland now.
Yeah, that'll continue. He'll continue to move around and help out wherever.
1-1.
One of those hitters, when he gets on a hot streak, you'll find a place in that lineup for him somewhere. Because as you can see, the 23 home runs a year ago, he's had big offensive season in average and home runs.
2 balls and a strike. Even the count 2-2.
And that's one of those. That's one of the examples that we were talking about earlier. You know, a 2-1 count, fastball count. You're behind. You've got a good fastball with good velocity, and so a lot of hitters are going to sit on that pitch with the count in their favor. And there, Blake Snell then comes with a changeup, and he's able to get right back to even. When you do that enough, and you really start to put doubt in a hitter's mind, because if you're willing to do that behind in the count, what are you going to do now?
He comes back with a fastball and turned that one up 98.
You put a hitter on the defensive. So now you go from that changeup to 98 up. Now he's thinking, well, you could double up on that pitch. You could go back to the slider, another changeup. All of the options are back on the table.
Pop up and a ground out. Base is empty. 2-2, and he got him. Well, he worked him over pretty well right there to get the strikeout. Got him on a breaking ball. Bottom of the first coming up. No score. By your Southern Ford dealers. And Duffy's going to lead it off, followed by Kevin Kiermaier. Carlos Gomez, CJ Cron's in there in the cleanup spot, the DH, followed by Wilson Ramos, and then Brad Miller, Adeiny Echeverria, Daniel Robertson, and Rob Refsnyder in left hits ninth, all against David Price.
Well, it was a frustrating 2017 for David Price. He was limited to just 11 starts, a couple of stints on the disabled list, but he did finish the season strong out of the bullpen and says he's fully healthy here in 2018.
First pitch to Duffy is a strike. Duffy had a big hit in the 8th inning, a double in the game yesterday. 1-1 the count now. Duffy swung the bat pretty well this spring. Did not have any extra base hits. All singles in the spring. His first hit in the regular season. That double. And a big part of the Rays' comeback. 2-1 now.
I think that's a very veteran move. You save all the good stuff for when it counts.
Absolutely.
And boy, did it count yesterday. That game looked to be over. One hit going into the 8th inning, and they took advantage of some shaky command by the Boston bullpen and had a couple of big hits.
Cut and a miss. 2-2. Well, David Price now 32 years old. The velocity still good. I mean, not what it was when He was younger in here, but it's still plenty good.
And the command. The command has always been very good for David Price.
Ground ball right side. Ramirez will make the play unassisted. One away.
Let's take a quick look and see how the Red Sox are going to line up defensively. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source, and it's at their outfield. They run out all the time. Benintendi, Bradley Jr., and Betts. And then across that infield, third to first, the youngster Devers, Bogarts, Eduardo Nunez over there for Dustin Pedroia, who's on the disabled list, Hanley Ramirez, and Christian Vasquez behind the plate.
Kevin Kiermaier. A walk in the 8th inning. Scored one of the runs in the opener. Takes the ball here, 1-0. Kiermaier comes in 2 of 8 in his career against Price. One of those hits a home run. Do a little lifting right there, and it's 1-1.
Well, the count in your favor. You're sitting on that fastball. Got a good one to hit right there. Just got underneath it a little bit.
Comebacker. Price with the underhanded toss. A couple of outs with the bases empty.
I'll tell you, the one thing that David Price has done a tremendous job of throughout his career, and we've seen it the first 2 outs of this ball game, the willingness to pitch in against both righties and lefties. That fastball in on Kiermaier. He got the fastball inside on Matt Duffy. The glove side heater has always been a big pitch for David Price, and a lot of times when he was pitching here for the Rays, when that pitch was locked in early, you knew that he was going to have a good night.
Cut and a foul ball by Carlos Gomez. Gomez here, first 2 games of this season facing 2 pitchers against whom he's had a difficult time. 2 left-handers, quality left-handers. He came in yesterday's game, lifetime 1 of 9 against Sale. He's 0 for 14 in his career against Price. So sooner or later, you figure that's got to turn, and that's what the Rays are counting on here. Off speed there, and it picks up the zone away. And strike 3 call. So a quick at bat and a quick inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. On to the second, no score. WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Back to the hill goes Blake Snell, who opened the second inning with J.D. Martinez, the DH, leading off. Boy, what a year he had last year, and what a finish. Pitch is a ball, 1 ball, no strike. Speaking of finish, it was very encouraging to see Blake Snell finish off the first inning the way he did. Opening to Martinez here in the second. The pitch is upstairs.
You know, when you think about the way that he was able to close out Hanley Ramirez, that was next level pitching. You know, he went with the 2-1 changeup. We talked about that, throwing the off speed behind in the count to get back to 2-2. Climbed the ladder with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, looking to put him away.
Fly ball to right field, sending Gomez to the track. He's there to make the catch. So that is the first out here in the second inning. And we'll check in with Michelle.
Thanks, Dwayne, here with the founder of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Phil Esposito. Thank you so much for joining us. You threw out the ceremonial first pitch. How do you think you did?
Well, I don't think I did very well, and I tried to throw it too hard. I realized that after it went into the dirt. But it was a wild pitch, the guy who took second base.
Now, you were on the team that played here at the Trop for a couple years in the 90s. What was that like?
Well, we put the ice in. It was a portable ice. And we put it in, and it was fun. We averaged 22,000 people a game. We still hold the indoor record for most people watch a hockey game indoors. And that was like 28,800 and something. And that record will stand forever because nobody's building rinks with 30,000 people.
What was the biggest challenge of playing hockey in a baseball stadium?
Well, it was locating where the ice should be so that the best views. And we took a lot of time to do that. And the other challenge was the pitcher's mound because it was electronic then. So we had to cement it in, and then when we left, we had to take it out and re-put it back in all the electronics. That was the biggest challenge. Outside of that, the people had a blast here. So did we. Out in the outfield, we had kids playing soccer, football, baseball, and they were loving it too. And we had a pretty good team. We were entertaining, and that's all we needed to be in the beginning.
Certainly sounds like there were a lot of good memories. Thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Michelle, thank you.
All right, back to you, Dwayne NBA.
All right, Michelle, thanks a lot. Phil Esposito, what he did on the ice, but what he did to get a franchise here, and how great it has been to see the Lightning have the success they've had, and what a big part of it Phil Esposito has been. Great to see him there. 2 strikes the count here on Devers. The pitch upstairs. It's now 1-2. It's low. 2-2. Cutting a miss. Well, he took him upstairs and got him to chase the hard stuff. Second strikeout of the night for Snell. No score through an inning and a half. Rays and Wilson Ramos and Brad Miller against the former Ray, David Price, who had a 1-2-3 first. This pitch is in there for a strike.
Both of these pitchers very sharp here in the early going. Good sequencing.
On the fist, a little popper. Nunez takes care of that.
Yeah, that was a cutter that got in on C.J. Cron. All 4 outs so far for David Price have been gotten by pitching in. I mean, go back to Matt Duffy, fastball in. Kiermaier jammed him with a fastball in. Carlos Gomez got him looking on a fastball in. Here's a cutter cutting in and jamming Cron. Wanting to keep these Rays hitters from getting extended. David Price wearing out the inner half of the plate here in the early going.
And boy, the ability to do that separates the men from the boys.
It certainly does. It opens up a whole new world.
Well, here's Ramos sending one toward the corner. Long run by Bentz, but he gets over there and makes the catch. He covered a lot of ground and made a little adjustment right at the track, then to veer back. He made a nice grab.
Yeah, that's not easy here. Once again at Tropicana Field. Watch where he heads. Kind of got him swung over into right center field. Got to go a long way. Never losing track of that baseball.
Consecutive Gold Gloves the last 2 years in right field. It's hard to get it beyond his reach. Brad Miller.
Well, that's why he's always right around the top of the MVP voting. We talked about what he does offensively: power, speed, ability to take extra bases, and then defensively with the Gold Glove.
Brad in here against the left-hander. 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Now Miller coming into this game lifetime against Price 3 for 24. Denard Span, who's not in the lineup tonight, a left-handed bat, is 1 for 12 against Price. So the decision had to be made. Who do you go with? Fly ball to center field. Bradley Jr. backs up and makes the catch. And we'll talk about that a little later. 1, 2, 3. We go to the third. No score.
Members of the 1998 inaugural Rays team, Aaron Ledesma, thank you so much for joining us. How does it feel to be back here?
It feels great. I can't believe it's been 20 years since we were all together. But it's great to see everybody, and it's great to see the team and the team doing well.
What are some of your favorite memories from that year?
Ooh, where do I begin? Favorite memory, probably going back to Oakland, to my hometown, and getting a chance to play in front of my family, in front of the community. I'm from a town called Union City. And just getting that opportunity to play in front of these people who have supported me my whole life, really.
What does it mean to you that the Rays have put together the celebration for you guys tomorrow?
It means a lot. I mean, I'm enjoying this time catching up with former teammates and sharing stories. But it's a really special time. You know, we don't get a chance to see each other that often. I haven't seen a lot of these guys since that first team.
Now, where can we find you now? What are you up to?
My wife and I, we opened up a yoga studio in Clearwater, Florida. It's called Yoga 365. We've been open for 6 years now, so we got an amazing studio with amazing teachers. We do teacher training programs, trips to Costa Rica, you name it. But that's what I'm doing. I got into yoga after I had back surgery, so it was a better alternative to medicine and anti-inflammatories. I was tired of beating my body up, so yeah, yoga is my medicine now.
That's very cool. Well, I'm sure Rays fans are very excited to see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Dwayne and BA.
All right, thank you very much. So Aaron Ledesma, and a number of the 98 Devil Rays will be on hand tomorrow. Bradley Jr. rounds out to second, and he's out of there. Robertson to Miller. Nunez was retired on the second pitch of the inning by Snell. He started him with a changeup for a strike and then got in on him, and he almost blooped one in there, but a nice play by Echeverria took care of Nunez. So 2 up, 2 down here in the third inning, and the hitter is going to be Christian Vasquez. Well, you're right. These two lefties setting their own pace. Upstairs, 1-0 the count. Well, tomorrow a special ceremony commemorating the 1998 Devil Rays team, a reunion, and the special pregame begins at 5. There's a soft liner going to fall in front of Ref Snyder. And it's Vasquez who picks up the first hit of the game. So 2 gone. We go back around to the top of the order. Mookie Betts.
And Dwayne, I'm hearing that you're going to be playing a prominent role in that ceremony on the field tomorrow. Gonna leave the booth and go down there and make some magic happen on the field.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I would say prominent. I'm not even sure how to spell that. There will be a small role out there, and it'll be interesting to see. Wilson Alvarez, who threw the first pitch in Tampa Bay Major League history, will be here. I think he's going to throw out the first pitch, and I think we're going to have Richie Garcia, the plate umpire, who called out a ball. And we've talked about that before, how we get on him a little bit and think, hey, if you'd called it a strike, things would have been different, but there was no way. Oh, there's a pitch in the dirt. Nice recovery and throw down. Ramos recovers and cuts down Vasquez at second base to retire the side. So that pitch in the dirt turns out to be a positive for the Rays. We'll take another look as we go to break. Ramos down to Robertson. No score. Price all started here.
Boy, the first overall pick coming out of the bullpen. Rays on their way to the World Series, and look at the numbers that he put up. 82 and 47, Cy Young Award. There it is.
Some heady moments there. Echeverria lifting a high foul out of play. Daniel Robertson next, and then Rob Refsnyder. It's a ball and a strike.
It's been funny to watch David through the years and his arsenal. You know, he was fastball, curveball, changeup. All of a sudden started to sprinkle in the cutter, but would use that mostly backdoor to right-handers. Now you see him bringing that pitch in on the hands. Kind of.
Yeah, he started the first couple innings. Establishing his territory into these hitters.
Yeah, with both of them, with the fastball and the cutter. They play off of each other very, very well. Then you think about the changeup away. Occasional breaking ball. A good idea of what he's doing out there. And, you know, the command is what allows him to be successful. You have a great plan and can execute it. That's the key. I mean, every pitcher goes out there with a pretty good plan. It's, can you command the baseball and execute it?
Price now 32 years old. Some elbow issues that led to command problems. And that's a strike called. He gets Echeverria looking.
And once again, where? It'll be interesting to see if the Rays lineup starts to look in there, starts to cheat in there maybe a little bit. Second time through the order. Fastball in. You see Echeverria jumping back, and that pitch clearly right on that inside corner.
You got Gomez in there in the first inning, and now Echeverria here in the third. Daniel Robertson. Robertson started at second in the game yesterday. 0 for 2, drew a walk. Walk opened the 8th inning. Fly ball into left. Benintendi back to his right. 2 gone.
I'll tell you what these two guys are doing too is they're throwing the ball so well. Good job of sequencing, pitching backwards at times, using the entire strike zone and commanding, you know, getting out ahead. You force these hitters to now say, listen, I can't afford to sit back, so you can get some early in the count outs. We've seen David be able to do that right there on the changeup.
Refsnyder should 1 away. 0 for 1 yesterday for Refsnyder. He was the DH, drew a couple of bases on balls. There's the fastball. 1-1.
And I thought he did a really nice job. 2 of those, the walks off of Chris Sale, did not expand the zone against him, which is not easy to do. Good plate discipline. Like even that pitch right there. That's a tough pitch to lay off of, and he really didn't even flinch.
Ooh, look out. Duffy on deck. Turning sideways and trying to stay out of the way of that one. And that's why those young men have those helmets, the mask on.
Sometimes you feel like a target.
Rem Snyder out on strikes. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in the game. No score through 3.
Team Roberto Hernandez, thank you so much for joining us. What is it like being back with all the guys?
You know, a lot of stories and reminiscing and remembering, you know, but just remembering good times, you know, and enjoying running into each other and telling fibs.
Well, we've got the celebration tomorrow. What are you most looking forward to?
Just meeting the whole group that's going to be here, and hopefully we as a group started something positive. You know, one of the proudest moments is being in the original Ray, and one of the other proudest moments was sitting in the stands in 2008 in the World Series game here. You know, something that we started as a younger Devil Ray group, and then hopefully we'll pass the baton, and hopefully we'll have another World Series appearance in the World Series champion.
What does it mean to you that the Rays put this on for you guys?
It means a whole lot. You know, it's remembering the past. You know, you can't go further in the future or in the present if you don't remember how it started. You know, there was a lot of guys that really worked hard, try to give a lot to the community, and we're involved. You know, and we are proud of that. You know, and I'm flattered that this is happening, and also honored that it's happening tomorrow.
Aaron Ledesma has opened up a yoga studio. Where can we find you nowadays?
Well, nowadays you can find me at St. Petersburg Catholic High School. I'm their pitching coach, one of their assistant coaches. That's what I'm in. You know, baseball's in my blood, and I want to continue to pass the knowledge that I have to the next future baseball players.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, Dwayne and BA, back up to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Michelle. Roberto Hernandez. And he was quite a closer in his day.
Imposing.
Yes.
He was a big boy.
Yep.
Coming downhill at you with tremendous stuff.
Take charge out there on the hill. 1-1. Benintendi chops it to short. A nice pick over there by Miller. Echeverria to Brad Miller. So 2 up, 2 down. Snell got Betts to hit the ball. You know, the end of the bat and a fly ball to left, and now this ground ball and a nice pick at first.
It was. You know, Brad Miller had a nifty pick in yesterday's ball game. He comes right out there today, backhand, little short hop, able to keep it right there in the palm.
You know, Miller feels, you can tell, you know, he's kind of a quiet guy. He's got a little something to prove this year. You know, last year a lot of things didn't go well. Physically didn't go well, injuries and all that. Ramirez tied up on the pitch, fouls it back. And I think Brad's, you know, he's got a little fire now to kind of set things straight a little bit.
think about it. He wanted to play shortstop. He gets moved off that position. He has a season where he hits 30 home runs kind of bouncing around.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, trying to build off of that season, the injury bug hits, position uncertainty. And you're right. I think that there's absolutely an edge to Brad Miller. He feels good physically, is willing to go out and contribute any way that he possibly can. But I would expect a big year from Brad Miller. You know, spring training slowed a little bit again by injury. Feeling good now, and see what he can do, because
it's not a bad thing to have a group of guys like that.
No, you know, we talked a little bit about that yesterday in leading up to the home opener, the season opener, is that you've got a tremendous opportunity here for the veteran guys that are new to this team, for a lot of young players looking to establish themselves in the major leagues. Brad Miller coming off of the injury, knowing what he's capable of. Different guys like that.
The base hit, left center. Rex Snyder will pick it up. Ramirez is aboard.
And all that to say, when you take that kind of opportunity, that kind of mix of player that is highly motivated, you've got a chance to do some special things that maybe people on the outside don't think you're capable of.
Yep, that's right. And I think you can look around, almost pick a guy on the roster and make a case for that. You know, Ramos behind the plate came back, played about 60 games, but and finished strong. But he wants to establish that he can do that, get back to where he was with Washington, and back over the span of a full season. You know, Miller over first wants to do that. You've got a couple of guys around second, Robertson and Wendell, who want to establish that they can play. And that guy right there, we just had a look at Duffy in there.
Yeah.
Robertson. Duffy's going to, he wants to establish that he can be healthy and be productive and play. He kind of had a little nice thing started in San Francisco, and because of the heel, all of that sputtered out. But now he's back, and so he's got something to prove. I think Kiermaier in center wants to prove he can play and not get hurt and be as great a player a full season as we've seen him be, and also continue the offensive progress he's made. JD Martinez up here and way up in the count now, 3-0. I think the same thing applies to Gomez in right field. You know, he wants to again establish that he can play every day and be a well-rounded player defensively and offensively. So they do have a group of guys like that. Could be motivated.
We're going to do the pitching staff next half inning. But even thinking about that, you know, all the young guys down in the bullpen, you're going to have these bullpen days where they're going to go out maybe one time through the lineup, you know, left and right, and mix and match.
And ball 4, so with 2 outs, the single by Ramirez and a walk to JD Martinez. So a couple men on with 2 men out for Bogaerts. Xander Bogaerts coming up.
Well, the first hiccup really by either one of these two starting pitchers here tonight. And Blake Snell and David Price have been putting on a clinic on pitching to both sides of the plate, changing speeds, pitching out in front, a base hit here and a walk. First opportunity. This is where you got to take that deep breath, realize that you're 1 out away, you're 1 good pitch from being out of this inning, and go right back to work.
Fastball misses away, 1-0. Yeah, this is a challenge for Snell. He's had success against Bogaerts, who's 0 for 10 against Blake in prior matchups. So trying to get back in the groove here after getting the first 2 outs on 5 pitches. 1-1 right there.
And Bogaerts cheating and getting that started early. That was a good fastball by Blake Snell in a very good spot away, maybe even just a little bit off the plate. And he gave up on that swing about halfway through.
Fly ball softly hit into left, and it's going to be caught by Refsnyder. Straight in, stretching out to make the catch, and that retires the side. Didn't hit it hard, and Refsnyder got there in time, leaving 2 Boston base runners. Nice job following it all the way into that mitt. Bottom of the 4th coming. No score. Yesterday 6-4, and David Price pitching for Boston tonight has retired the first 9, so it will be Matt Duffy, then Kevin Kiermaier, and Carlos Gomez to face the veteran lefty. Ground ball to first in the first here for Duffy, and we have the strike zone box in place now. Had a little technical difficulty yesterday and the early part of this game. A little tapper to third. Devers up with it. Moves it across to first. So 1 away. And so we are relatively confident. Actually, we're very confident that that strike zone box is in good shape and will be there when we need it.
Yeah, and I don't see how in any manner it will cause any type of controversy at all.
No.
None whatsoever.
No.
That first fastball that's just off that edge that gets called a strike and people at home go nuts. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Be able to get a good idea of an umpire's strike zone compared to what we're going to see right here. And the command of a pitcher. How close to that edge. How about that? I mean, you can't drop that in the corner any better.
Well, that's what Price has been doing all night. His command has been excellent.
Right, we said it early. When the glove side fastball is locked in, David Price is locked in. And that's what we've seen here through the first 3 innings. You're just looking for that one mistake, and if you do get it, you had better take advantage.
Ooh, a little close there. That one just stayed in and would not bite. A little close there, and it's 1-1.
Kiermaier trying his best Brandon Geyer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, throw that hip out right there. Just couldn't get it out there far enough.
Evan came into the game 2 of 8 with a home run against Price. 0 for 1 tonight. Down in the count, a ball, 2 strikes right now. Well, Price, #1 pick overall by the Rays in the 2007 June draft. There's Gomez on deck waiting to face him. Price 3-3 with a .391 against the Rays in his career. 8 starts, 9 appearances overall. The chopper headed toward the middle. Grabbed by Bogarts, throw to first, not going to be in time. Well, you've got to get a lot on it to get Kiermaier, and then it's going to be problematic on a chopper like that. And there's a base hit for Kevin Kiermaier.
Yeah, when you see Kevin Kiermaier at the plate and you hear chopper, good luck. Because of the way that he's able to get out of the box. I mean, explosive, top end speed right away, and you just don't have time. I mean, Bogarts does everything that he can as quickly as he can, and it's still not enough.
And the exchange, it's hard to measure it. He got rid of it quickly enough, but hard to get a lot on that throw. And Kiermaier has a hit. And here's Carlos Gomez. Jammed, and it's popped up right by the plate and caught. Vasquez taking care of that popper.
Well, he closed him out in there in his first at bat, tries to go right back to it. And I'll tell you, when you get that pitch in where you want it, it's tough to get the barrel to it.
Yeah, the Rays facing Price on a night when he is right on so far. Now C.J. Cron. Boy, if you can do that, if you can get the ball in the way he has, you just negate the power of guys like Gomez and Cron.
And you open up the outer half. Guys don't like to get beat in, so there's the tendency to try to start to speed up and cheat in, which then opens up the outer half of the plate.
You know, you've pointed out so often it can be a dangerous place to go because a lot of bad things can happen in there, but if you have the command to do what Price is doing, you can see how effective that is.
Command and confidence. You've got to really buy into that pitch, because you're right. I mean, it starts to leak. You don't really finish the way that you need to, and that ball is going to get launched.
Well, now it's suddenly 3-0 to Cron.
And you know
this is the first 3-ball count he's had.
And he's got the green light here. Cron will cut it loose, so David, if he wants to get back into this count, has to make a quality pitch.
And there's a strike.
Oh, there's the first one. Look at it, so bad it just disappeared on us. No evidence.
Well, here's the pitch. Well, if there's a question 3-0, you know how it's going to go. I mean, that just has been happening for as long as they've called balls and strikes. There's a base hit into left. Strong enough to get that one out there and drop it in front of Benintendi. So Cron is aboard.
Well, for the Rays, this is their first opportunity. 2 outs. C.J. Cron extends the inning. Little backdoor cutter that ends up more middle in, and Cron just wraps it into left field.
So a couple of base runners on these 2 hits for the Rays, and now Wilson Ramos. Hit the ball to the track in right field. It was Betts who ran it down. The fastball, first pitch strike. into the dirt. That's blocked by Vasquez. Nice job there. That's always been the case with Vasquez. The Red Sox have always loved his defense.
Yeah, good handling of pitching staff. We saw right there, agile behind the plate, good catch and throw guy.
And a strike call. 1-2. Price made 11 starts last year, 16 games overall. Down the left side, but foul. It's beyond the bullpen. Finally, a souvenir. Take a look at this.
Tremendous effort. Oh, trying to get the clipboard in there, the 3-ring binder.
Yeah.
Nobody ever able to make that play. It's early.
Some good coverage of that.
Listen, the Rays have some playmakers down both lines.
Fly ball into right. Betts will back up toward right center to glove it. The Rays get 2 hits, leave 2, and we're through 4. No score. T-Mobile.com/MLB. We go to the 5th inning. We look at the board. Red Sox, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. For the Rays, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Devers leads off the 5th. Pitch is a strike from Blake Snell. Blake Snell and David Price almost matching each other pitch by pitch. 1-1. Ball, 2 strikes. Devers about to lose the batting helmet right there. cover toward the dugout. Nunez will be next, then Bradley Jr. Well, we have obviously just moved into the second day of the season, but Blake Snell, so far, there's a shot back into right field. Gomez to the track will make the catch. One away. The progress that Blake Snell made at the end of the season last year, he has just picked that right up and run with it here so far as he pitches in the 5th inning tonight in his first start.
It was so encouraging a season ago because it was basically all of his starts after the All-Star break. And he finished the season strong with a lot of confidence. He came into spring training and just picked up where he left off, continued to build on things, work on things, fine-tune things with Kyle Snyder, the Rays' new pitching coach. And you're seeing all of that on display here tonight. He's been outstanding.
And Nunez takes a strike on the corner.
And the command, you know, that was the only thing ever holding him back. You know, the curveball's always been pretty good. You know, the slider, the changeup, but it was the fastball command, and you saw that lock into place a season ago. And for the most part, you've seen it here tonight.
Well, throughout the spring, you heard a lot about his composure, his approach. Essentially, you're talking about a maturity level out there and the confidence that he belongs, knows what he's doing. He started to execute that. And he appears to be on a very positive roll for his career, moving in the right direction, because he's gifted with a lot of ability, and it appears that everything else is starting to catch up with that ability. And if you can put all that together, maturity with that ability, this young man is going to be a very good pitcher.
It goes back to that sequence that we were talking about with Hanley Ramirez in his first at bat against Blake Snell here tonight. We got a little, you know, disjointed there, wasn't able to finish.
A little tap now. It's nice play by Ramos up the line to pick that up and make the toss. Of course, Snell was there, but he's got to make the pick up and turn completely around.
Yeah.
And Ramos there grabbed it, made a nice little play.
If the catcher can get to it, you'd like to see him take that, because Blake Snell does have a little bit more, and Wilson Ramos, we've seen a couple of times, even that ball that he blocked, was able to get up, throw down to second base to get the runner trying to advance. Vasquez, I believe that it was, he had a play like that in yesterday's ball game, showing some good reflexes back there behind the plate. Quickness.
Jackie Bradley Jr. That pitch breaks in there. Strike one. Well, a full complement of pitches here for Blake Snell. And he's quickly out in front. Doubled right up there, and it's 0-2.
It'll be interesting to watch as the season unfolds, but we've seen tonight Blake Snell with his slider. At times, it almost appears to be a cutter with, you know, keeping it on the same plane. That pitch right there was an actual slider with some good depth. I wonder if he's doing that on purpose.
We got ahead of him 0-2, ran that fastball in, jammed him, and he pops it foul out of play.
Now, what do you want? You could go back with the slider down in a way. You could elevate the fastball middle of the plate up. Well, there's just so many options here. That's 1-2, I guess.
Yep. Go to 1 and 2.
Change the eye level.
Well, it's fun when you can see that kind of development, that kind of ability, and see him take the next step. And he's 2 and 2. Did he go? Oh, he held up, and the count is full, pretty close.
And a couple of curveballs, and going back to the slider there, and Blake Snell wants to just bring up those sights just a hair. 3 straight well below the zone.
So we'll see another 3-2 pitch. Jackie Bradley Jr. Bradley's second at bat tonight. He had 4 at bats against Snell last year, 1 for 4 off him, and there's a popper, foul ball. Duffy with room. He makes the catch to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 through 5 innings for Blake Snell. He's given up a couple of hits. Pitch count in great order, and his command has been very good. Scoreless on to the bottom of the 5th. Group in the private party area, just steps from the Rays bullpen. Reserve the Papa John's bullpen box by contacting group sales at 888-FAN-RAYS. You can email group sales at raysbaseball.com or visit raysbaseball.com right now. Pitch up and in to Brad Miller to get the bottom of the 5th started. Miller takes it the other way, base hit into left. And so there's a leadoff single. Well, Brad Miller 1 for 2. A couple of years ago, big power year for him, and then injuries and an off year last year.
Well, we remember that season very well. That 30 home runs. He hit the ball as hard as anybody in the game. I mean, loud contact, and that's what it led to. But all of a sudden, 2017, you know, the injury bug and playing through some nagging injuries, never fully healthy, and of course the numbers suffered.
Foul ball by Echeverria. The Rays pick up their 3rd hit. Well, and we started to talk about that earlier, about the decision to play Miller and not Denard Span, 2 left-handed hitters, a lefty on the mound, and you have to figure out what you're dealing with here. And one of the things, and you brought this up before we went on, we were talking about that. You know, Miller's one of those guys, if he gets fastball hittable, he's got the power, he can hit it out against a lefty or righty, and that very well could be a part of that decision making.
You know, David Price a season ago was over 75% fastball against lefties, and he's around the zone quite a bit, and so you know you're going to see one, and it's probably going to be pretty close to the zone, if not in the zone. And so you got a guy like Brad Miller out there, and that can obviously 30 home runs 2 years ago. He's got a lot of power. In fact, it was the fastball that he hit the other way to get on base right here. You still have Denard Span
sitting on the bench for a late inning matchup.
Roller down to third, out at second, safe at first. Rivers to Nunez.
Boy, everything has to go perfectly if you're thinking about turning a double play right here. Ball reached and tapped to Devers. And gets the throw right there to Nunez. Echeverria hustling up the line.
Echeverria aboard for Daniel Robertson. Scoreless ball game with two lefties pretty much in charge so far tonight as we play in the bottom of the fifth. There's a strike. Price has given up 3 hits, no walks. Snell's given up 2 hits, 1 walk. One and one. These two teams will see a lot of each other this year, and a lot of them the first month of the schedule. Ground ball short. Bogarts, Nunez one. A lot of time here for the 6-4-3 double play, and we're going to go into the 6th inning. No score. And they've pretty much duplicated each other's performance tonight.
You kind of had to. I mean, it's tit for tat with these two. You knew that they are capable of outings like this. They're both putting them together at the same time, and they have been great on both sides of the plate, changing speeds, pitching to, all quadrants of the zone. Once again, we talked about that a lot with Chris Sale in the ball game yesterday. When you do that, you put these hitters on the defensive. They've been working out in front.
Blake Snell to face Christian Vasquez, who fouls that first pitch away. Vasquez picked up a single in the 3rd. Ramirez singled with 2 outs in the 4th. A walk to Martinez in the 4th, and that's been it. 2 strikeouts for Snell. This one in the short right, and here comes Gomez. Vasquez jammed a bit, couldn't get a lot on it, and that's what, for a moment, made it a little worrisome. But Gomez got there and made the catch.
Well, right on point, good jump. That ball coming in a little bit on Vasquez, softly served out into right field. That's the other thing that benefits from pitchers working quickly, throwing strikes. They're on top of their game. It keeps the defense on their toes. It keeps them engaged, and they in turn make good plays for you.
Mookie Betts 1-0 the count. Betts has popped out and a fly ball to left. One. Snell got benched to put the ball down off the end of the bat in the 4th inning and got the fly ball to left. Too low, and it's 3-1. Only walk of the game given up by Snell, and that was to Martinez in the 4th, and now there's another walk. Ball 4. 1 out pass to Betts. Speed aboard at first. Andrew Benintendi will be the hitter. Twice tonight, Benintendi has hit the ball on the ground, once to second and once to short. Neither one of those would be good for Snell right now.
You start to think about a well-placed fastball down and away. The slider down and away, something to get Benintendi reaching.
Benintendi does tend to hit the ball into the air a little bit more than on the ground. And there's a fly ball to left. Ref Snyder is there to make the catch. The runner holds at first. 2 gone.
Take that 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yep.
A well-placed fastball down and away. Benintendi lifted it.
Hanley Ramirez. He's got some action down in the bullpen. I'll see if we can get another 1 pitch out and maybe buy him some time. I mean,
The way that he's been cruising right along. Now, granted, you're the 3rd time through the lineup, and we've seen a lot of teams, once you get to that point, sometimes it doesn't matter how you're throwing. They're just not going to go there.
The strike outside edge.
But the way that Blake Snell has been pitching here tonight, you don't see any loss of stuff. You don't see any really loss of command. He was careful with Mookie Betts after he fell behind him. That's not altogether a bad thing.
One. Walk has put Betts aboard. He's there with 2 outs. Over to first. Betts 26 steals last year in 29 attempts. And to move over to first. He's back in there. Betts is going. The pitch is skied foul, out of play. 1-2.
Well, we talked earlier about Mookie Betts' base stealing abilities, 26 out of 29 a season ago, and picking his spots. And in this game, the way that these two guys have been throwing the baseball, you figure you're going to have to try to create some offense. And Boston trying to do that here with 2 outs, putting him in motion. Going to need a little bit bigger lead than 2 to 3 feet to go again. And he's out there to double digits, Dwayne.
Well, pitch is down, blocked nicely by Ramos, and it's a 2-2 count.
Well, against a left-hander, you're going to go on first movement. I mean, as soon as that front leg flinches, that base runner will be off and running if he's going to go. You do not have time to read a left-hander. You've got to go as soon as he moves that front leg. That's why you incorporate a slide step. You can cut down on your time.
Over there, back in easily for Betts. It's Tom Goodwin, the first base coach, new manager, and a lot of changes on the coaching staff. Carlos Febles is the third base coach, and Tom Goodwin, the former outfielder, coaching at first. More time over there. He's going. Pitch is lifted into right, closing Gomez. It's going to fall for a base hit. Throw comes back towards second. Betts turns third and holds. Gomez thought about trying to catch it and decided to be a little more conservative.
Yeah, which really goes against his personality. I mean, he's a guy that plays all out all the time, and you wonder right there, did he not see it? He thought off the bat he's got a chance. But right here decides, nope, not going to do it. And he played it conservatively, like you said. Let that ball drop in. Mookie Betts was leaning. Saw him get an early start there. Off and running, able to get all the way to third base.
Well, that's going to be it now for Blake Snell. Rays make a call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. And he gives way to Chaz Rowe. First pitch, J.D. Martinez fouls it out of play.
Well, Blake Snell had it working early here tonight. That big curveball right there to Hanley Ramirez, part of that sequence that we've never gotten to. And then he gets some balls on the ground off the end of the bat, climbed the ladder, did a great job of mixing his pitches, for the most part working ahead in the count. Put together a very nice outing that ended rather abruptly.
1-1, and he gives way to Chaz Rowe, who features that slider, that sweeping slider. He can be all over the map from one side of the country to the other with that pitch. That's foul. Now 1-2.
Kevin Cash not wanting Blake Snell to see J.D. Martinez here for a third time. And here's Chaz Rowe with that breaking ball. You know, you think about some of the breaking balls coming out of that bullpen. Rowe, Sergio Romo, same kind of deal. They can really sweep it.
Bounder foul. Again, third base side. Alex Colomé got the save yesterday alongside Blake Snell. Runner breaks off first, and a little tap foul right there. Pay a lot of attention to Ramirez, and he was gone on that 1-2 pitch, and will return to first on the foul. Saw a bit of Rowe last September. '93 is up out of the zone. 2-2. Bogarts on deck. A 2-2 count to J.D. Martinez, who was an RBI machine last year. And he held up on the appeal down to Andy Fletcher. That was close. Very, very close. Here's a look.
Big backup breaking ball almost got him.
Now the count full. And strike three call, right back with it, and got him looking. Rowe gets the strikeout, leaving 2 men aboard. Here's the strikeout pitch. Nothing you can do about that after you've decided to take it, as it breaks in. No score, middle of 6. half of the inning, and it will be Robert Snyder to lead off, the number 9 hitter facing David Price. Then back around to Duffy and Kiermaier. Snyder, a strikeout victim in the 3rd. Two. The Rays had a couple men on, left them aboard in the 4th inning. Boston left 2 in the 4th and 2 in the 6th. He's in to hit in the 6th inning, and there's a strike call. And boy, tough to do anything with that.
The sequencing, you know, that pitch right there is effective because of what came before it. And you get the cutter, strike 1, cutter right on the inside corner, strike 2. You make the hitter aware of that pitch in, and then you backdoor it and lock him up. Seen an awful lot of that tonight by David Price, an awful lot of that by Blake Snell too.
Now the top of the order, Matt Duffy. One ball, no strikes. Rays get a little action in their bullpen. Big lefty Alvarado. Hard throwing left-hander. Three and 0 the count. Couple of ground balls from Duffy tonight. He's up in the count, 3-1. Fouls that one, the fastball back.
Yeah, that's the pitch. You go back and look at video and say, well, you want that one again. We talked about taking advantage of mistakes. These pitchers here tonight have not made many. This is a 3-1 center cut heater. This gets fouled off.
Oh, strike 3 called. It started away and cut to the corner. Strikeout number 5.
That's a big pitch for David Price. A lot of stuff in early in this ball game, early in counts, and now starting to exploit that outside corner. That may have just been off that outside edge, but close enough to be called.
Base is empty, 2 away. Here's Kevin Kiermaier. Leans it back. Devers way off the third base bag. Foul back. Out of play, 1-1. Gomez on deck. Kiermaier batting with the bases empty. Price retired the first 10 he faced, gave up a couple of hits in the 4th. One of those, the infield hit to Kiermaier. Fly ball lifted toward Benintendi. He's got it. 3 up and 3 down go the Rays in the 6th inning. So David Price has been on tonight. 3 hits, 5 strikeouts through 6. TV. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Xander Bogaerts opens the 7th inning. Chaz Rowe out there. He got the strikeout of J.D. Martinez to end the 6th. And the pitch to Bogaerts is a strike. Devers, a left-handed bat, is due next. Alvarado standing up in the bullpen. It's foul right back. There's the Boston third baseman. 5 2/3 for Blake Snell. Rowe finished off the 6th and is ahead of Bogaerts. Breaking ball, got a little bit of it and fouled it. Rowe is in 9 appearances in September with the Rays after beginning the year with Atlanta. Back into left field. Rev Snyder's going to have to play it one hop off the wall. Extra bases for Bogaerts. An 0-2 pitch and he doubles to left, and with nobody out in the 7th, Boston has a threat.
Well, these right-handed hitters, you know you're going to get the breaking ball from Chaz Rowe, the slider. The question is, are you going to be able to reach it and do anything with it? As it starts to take off, Bogaerts lengthens the swing. We saw him do that in yesterday's ball game with great success at 3-hit day. He does it right there and gives Boston an immediate scoring opportunity with nobody out.
Rafael Devers will be the hitter. The Rays are going to spend a little time on the mound. Ramos out to talk with Rowe.
Got our first mound visit of the ball game in the 7th.
There you go. And now here comes Cash. So Kevin Cash comes out to make a pitching change. It's going to be it for Rowe. Alvarado will get the call. Call to the bullpen is brought to you by the Florida Lottery. dealers and by your local Ford dealers. Well, a great makeover here in the eatery department. Sizzle, a lot of local flavor. Flavor indeed at Tropicana Field now. And a lot of variety. Jose Alvarado, the new pitcher. Devers takes a big cut and misses the fastball. Right in at 98. Strike one.
Well, 35 appearances a season ago. The command of that fastball improving all along the way. And he does have electric put away swing and miss type stuff. There you go.
You know, I'm telling you. You know, you saw that first pitch, and then to come back with that, you don't have a chance. You got to start early.
And it was in. The fastball is in. And now slider, this kind of bend at 90 miles an hour. Best of luck to you.
Moves him back with that pitch, and it's 1-2. Eduardo Nunez is on deck. Ground ball headed toward the middle. Gonna go through. Bogarts will score. And it's 1-0 Boston.
Dwayne, when we talk about command, we're not talking about throwing strikes. We're talking about getting the pitches in the areas that you want them. And in this count, this is just too much plate on that fastball. That's a fastball right down the middle at about the belt. While you're way up in the count, you got him to chase badly on a slider down and away, and he just got too good of a pitch to hit and came through.
So the first run of this game comes in the 7th, belonging to Boston. Now Nunez. Nunez had the inside the park home run yesterday. Over to first. A little frustration behind that peg over there. It's a strike. Well, here's what happened on the inside the park home run in the second inning yesterday in between Kiermaier and Span.
I mean, perfectly split them. Gave Boston an early 3-0 lead, but it would not hold up, as we all know.
Second inside the park home run for Nunez against the Rays. High chop right side. Who's going to cover first? Everybody's safe. Miller came to get it. And there was no place to go when that chopper came down. Devers moves to second, and Nunez is aboard. A little slow in getting up.
Now this ball chopped, and Nunez going to get out of the box. And you're thinking, you know, really there was no chance for Brad Miller to get back to that bag. Let's see Alvarado off the mound. He's heading over. That's just a tough play. I don't know if that play could be made.
Yeah, got awfully crowded over there with Miller and Robertson. Alvarado converging along with the runner Nunez.
You know, Brad Miller was far enough off the bag. It's going to be tough for him to get back. Alvarado, I don't know if he's going to be able to get there in time. It's going to be an odd throw from Brad Miller. And then you've got Nunez, all that hustle up the line. And obviously a little shaken up after coming to the bag. Let's take a look and see if we can see anything here. Digging in. Nothing that really jumps out at you. Something didn't feel too good.
Well, Snyder to the mound. The Rays with a full-scale conference going on here in the 7th inning. Well, tonight, American military personnel serving overseas watching our game on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome you to those in countries around the world aboard naval ships at sea, and thank you and salute you for your service. Nunez will stay in the game. Still nobody out in this inning with a run home and 2 men aboard. Jackie Bradley Jr. will bat. Bradley is grounded out, fouled out to third.
And at least initially looking to play small ball here. Tough matchup for Bradley Jr. with Alvarado and left on left with his kind of stuff. So you get a bunt down, try to move the runners up. See if he sticks with it.
He tries to bunt, fouls it right back into the top of the screen. 1-1.
You're trying to get it to a fastball with that kind of velocity and kind of jabbing at it like Bradley Jr. did. Chances of success very, very low.
One and two.
Canned that whole bunting idea pretty quick.
Yeah, with good reason. The right side fouled into the bullpen. Look out, fellas.
I'll tell you what, the vertical leap of the boys here tonight down both lines, leaving a little something to be desired. Or is that a lead helmet?
Watch the ricochet, though.
I mean, what do you got on that vertical? 4 to 6 inches?
Did he go? Oh, he did not on the appeal down to Jeff Nelson. 2-2.
We're just used to excellence.
Got some heavy shoes.
I mean, honestly. Lead helmet, cement shoes, Dwayne.
That's a tough combo.
Bad combo.
They'll keep you grounded. See Matt Andrees down in the bullpen. Broken bat roller. Robertson, Echeverria 1, Miller 2, 4-6-3. So they get the double play. Evers goes to third. 2 outs with a man over there now.
Boy, that was huge. Well placed ground ball. A little bit of a pause right there, making sure the flip is good, and Echeverria, nice turn.
Or if the Rays can get out of this and hold them to 1 run, it would be big. Alvarado will face Christian Vasquez. Ball, no strikes. 1-1. Bogarts opened with a double. He has scored the run. Devers is at third, advancing after Nunez reached on the chopper, and Bradley grounded into the double play. Foul ball. Good cut. It's 1-2. Bogarts has the only run scored of the night in this 1-0 game. Down to first to complete the strikeout and retire the side. Rays hold them to 1 run. Middle of the 7th, 1-0 Boston. (1998) Major League Baseball, born in Tampa Bay, and Wade Boggs, 2-run homer off Justin Thompson in the 6th inning, accounted for the first 2 runs in Devil Rays history, hitting the first home run in franchise history. And tomorrow on the pregame show, Rays Live, presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers, the 1998 team reunion interview with Hall of Famer Wade Boggs, among others. So it'll be a big evening here at Tropicana Field as they commemorate the 20 years of Devil Rays and Rays history in Major League Baseball here in Tampa Bay. Carlos Gomez will begin the bottom of the 7th against David Price, who's been very good. And he's after the first pitch, lifts it down the left field line. That ball will be a fair ball and will not be caught. Devers trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch, and it pops away from him. And Gomez, who's been jammed all night, was jammed again.
Yeah, trying to cheat in there, and it was a cutter by David Price, an over-the-shoulder basket catch, the most difficult to try and make, and not able to.
So Gomez has another shot. Fouls it in front of Mac Quatraro, the third base coach of the Rays. An 0-2 count now. Crone will be next, and then Wilson Ramos, part of the order.
See if they go away here. They've made him very aware of the pitch in.
This one skied into left center. Benintendi cutting over, but Bradley Jr.'s there to make the catch. The center fielder handles that one.
I'll tell you, not only has David Price been very, very good with his sequencing and control and command here tonight, but look at the efficiency. I mean, you're into the 7th inning, 1 out into the 7th inning, sitting in just 69 pitches.
Yep. There it is.
Boy. High water mark of 16.
C.J. Cron. He has 1 of the 3 hits. It's ball 1. One and one. Fly ball left center. Again, Benintendi over there, but Bradley's there to make the catch. Same scenario, 2 gone. And to this point, Price has done about everything he's wanted. Action down there in the bullpen. Andres had been up earlier, joined by Sergio Romo. Wilson Ramos now. Reaches and taps it, foul. Contact with him when he was in the box. It's foul ball. That's Matt Barnes up in the bullpen. Barnes got into the game yesterday for 1 inning. Ground ball headed up the middle, base hit in its center. Ramos is aboard. And Wilson Ramos picks up his first hit. And with 2 outs, Brad Miller is due up. Vasquez will spend a little time with Price out there.
Trying to make sure that everything is in order as Laz Diaz trying to get everybody back to their positions to get things going. And margin for error in this game is razor thin. Just a 1-run ball game. And each team has used up one of their mountains.
They have indeed. Down to 5 left. Brad Miller. Fouls it off his leg. Well, Miller had a base hit in the 5th inning. Take a look at this. Ooh, right above the foot there.
0 protection.
Popper into shallow left. Bogart's angling out. Coming in. Benintendi. And Benintendi finally makes a catch. Been all over that outfield. We go to the 8th. It's 1-0 Boston. 1-0 ball game. Only run came in the top of the 7th inning for Boston. Rays winning last night or yesterday afternoon 6-4. They did it with a 6-run 8th. And we're headed into the 8th inning now. Matt Andriese will be the new pitcher.
Well, you talk about a Swiss Army knife for the Tampa Bay Rays pitching staff. Matt Andriese has done a little bit of everything. You see 17 starts a season ago, has pitched out of the bullpen. He's done whatever has been asked.
Swiss Army knife gives you a lot of options, and so does Matt.
Some of the options in the Swiss Army, I'm not even sure what they're for. What do you do with this?
Yep, I know. You have to be careful. Well, here is Mookie Betts. Pitch is a strike. Alvarado, credit for a full inning. Strikeout, a couple of hits allowed. It's wide, 1-1. The run charged to Chaz Rowe in a 1/3 of an inning. Gave up a hit. That run accountable to him. Right at the shortstop, Echeverria, and it throws right there. 1 out in the 8th. So Betts 0 for 3 tonight. Andrew Benintendi on his way to the plate. He's also 0 for 3. A ground ball outs and a pop fly to left for Benintendi. Takes ball 1, a fastball from Andriese. Outside the bag, and it's 1-1.
Well, the Red Sox expecting big things out of Andrew Benintendi. His 2nd time through the league here in 2018. Together a nice season a year ago. 271 at 20 home runs.
Yeah, he led this team in on-base percentage. Hits the ball all over the place and pretty good power to right. 1-1 the count. 2-1.
Part of that young core. Betts and Benintendi, Bogarts. Got Devers up here now. Jackie Bradley Jr.
2-2.
I'll tell you, you can put together a core like that, sprinkle some veterans around them, some role players, so you start to build something.
Foul the other way. Well, the big addition for this Boston club was J.D. Martinez.
They needed an injection of power. There's no question about that. David Ortiz left a huge void that no one filled. And all of a sudden, you're out there looking. You finished dead last in the American League in home runs a year ago.
It's a little tapper foul. Yeah, that's hard to believe when you're talking about a Boston team with 168 home runs, and you can see where they ranked in the American League. We mentioned you have to go back to the 30s. You actually have to go back to 1930, the last time a Boston team hit as few as 168 home runs.
That's hard to believe. I mean, that really is hard to believe. And yet won the division for a 2nd straight season.
Right now playing without Dustin Pedroia because of work on his knee. The knee surgery has kept him on the sidelines to begin the year. High pop left side into foul ground, and Duffy's there to make the catch. So 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th. Don't forget, coming up, Rays Live, the postgame presented by WB Mason. Rich and Orestes will anchor the coverage. We'll hear from the Rays manager Kevin Cash, and Michelle Margot will have interviews from the clubhouse. Hanley Ramirez singled in the 4th and a base hit in the 6th. 2 for 3. Tap foul. Yankees have a 4-1 lead in the top of the 8th at Toronto. Tanaka out after 6 innings. Randall Krichik a home run for the Blue Jays, accounting for their only run. Here just 1 run in the game, and that came in the 7th inning for Boston. Call to Ramirez. Andres, the 4th pitcher. Blake Snell started and was very good for 5 2/3. Left after 84 pitches. Of that one foul. Still 0-2.
With just a little bit too, almost an emergency swing right there by Ramirez, fishing for that ball. What a pitching dominant game this has been.
6 hits for the Red Sox, 4 hits for the Rays. Cut and a miss. That takes care of Ramirez. Our ball game will head into the bottom of the 8th inning. Danny Echeverria will lead it off for the Rays. Down 1-0.
Here, but how good was he 7 shutout innings, commanding both sides of the plate. Very effective with the fastball, with the cutter. That then opens up the outside part of the plate. He was able to exploit that late. He goes 7 shutout innings on just 76 pitches. How about that? 76 pitches and 7 shutout. And Blake Snell, for his part, was matching him pitch for pitch, giving up just 3 hits, no runs. These guys put on a show here tonight of executing a game plan almost to perfection.
And now the Red Sox go into their bullpen, and Matt Barnes, who pitched yesterday, will face Echeverria, and he chops one foul, strike one. Barnes worked 1 perfect inning yesterday and faced Echeverria, got him to end the 7th on a fly ball to center. He begins the 8th against him in tonight's game.
And this is the best news of the day for the Rays.
That's exactly right.
As dominant as Barnes can be, you want David Price out of the game.
And here's the thing about Price. You know, we've seen Price upper 90s at times. Well, that's not where he was tonight, but he was as good as you can be from a pitching perspective. He was very, very good tonight. A 2-strike count. This one is down, and from the Rays' point of view, Blake Snell was very good too.
Yeah.
That's a very encouraging outing based on the way he finished last year, and then how he threw the ball in the spring.
I thought both guys did a tremendous job with their complementary pitches. You know, Blake Snell elevated fastball, curveball, David Price fastball, cutter. Really working those in tandem.
2-2 the count on Echeverria. Now the Rays try to get to this Boston bullpen again. Denard Span on deck. Foul out of play. Echeverria in his career now 0 for 4 against Barnes with a couple strikeouts. And he's 2-2 with him right now. A 1-run ball game. Strike 3 is called. Got him looking at the fastball.
Get a great shot of it. He buries that pitch down and away right at the knees. And just a perfect pitch.
Now Denard Span will pinch hit for Daniel Robertson. Robertson had gone 0 for 2. Our pinch-a-penny pinch hitter, Denard Span, he was the man of the moment in the game yesterday with the bases clearing triple when the Rays scored 6 in the 8th to win it. And the pitch is a strike. Here's a look at Span coming through, crossing up the defense.
Tremendous at bat. You know, getting it to a full count, seeing a lot of pitches, and he finally got one out over, and that was the difference.
Trying to catch up to 95 there. 0-2. Red Sox had control issues, command and control issues in 2 innings yesterday. Ball, 2 strikes. It's Bobby Pointer, the lefty, up in the bullpen. He was a non-roster player in their camp in the spring, had not pitched above the Double-A level, and he was up yesterday in a potential lefty-lefty situation, and they decided not to go that way.
Yeah, Alex Corsi did not want to bring him into that type of a situation for his major league debut. If he does indeed bring him into this game, not much difference. 1-run ball game.
Span has taken the count to 2-2. Yeah, Alex Cora already getting a taste of the Boston baseball expertise.
Yeah, a lot
and the press.
Yeah.
And the fans.
Yep. Talking about why not Craig Kimbrell to come in and put that fire out in the 8th inning and then take your chances in the 9th. But Alex Cora said, listen, we had a plan coming in, and the plan was Craig Kimbrell comes into the ball game. It's going to be for a clean inning, and it's going to be that 9th inning. And maybe that changes going forward, but it doesn't work out that game number 1. You get that taste right away, like you said.
Well, the 2-2 curveball wouldn't bite for Barnes, and now it's a full count to Denard Span. And he draws the walk. He went curveball 3-2 and walks him.
Boy, did you see the way that Span took that pitch? This curveball's not that far out of his zone. But boy, he saw it well, didn't flinch, didn't chase. Right there, spit on it, take your base.
There you go.
Tremendous at bat.
Well, Ralph Snyder is going to be lifted here, and boy, that's another great at bat by Span. Yesterday's at bat leading up to the triple, an outstanding job by Denard Span, and here pinch hitting draws the walk. And now Joey Wendell will pinch hit against Barnes. Wendell fouls it the other way. Wendell pinch hit and stayed on to play second base in yesterday's game. Grounded to short in that pinch hit appearance. Rays got him from Oakland. Down and away, 1-1. So Wendell getting his first look at Barnes. And likewise. Ozzie Timmons there, the Rays first base coach, talking with the base runner Denard Span. On deck is Matt Duffy. There's Ozzie. Been in the Rays system as both the player and a coach. There's a liner to third, caught by Devers down there. Diving back in at first is Span.
Boy, it was the placement of Devers off the bag, kind of in that hole, that 5-6 hole, could not have been put in a better position. That ball was absolutely blistered by Joey Wendell the other way. Got a lot of room to work with, save for one spot.
And now a conference on the hill for the Red Sox with Matt Duffy due up. He's getting a runner here in the 8th. He's still at first with 2 outs. Dana Levangie heads back into the dugout. Well, you want to hit the ball hard. That's what Wendell did. Yeah, that's all you can do.
That's absolutely all you can do.
Here's Duffy. And upstairs. The breaking ball for Barnes tonight has not been his best pitch. It has not had the bite on it that he's trying to get.
Well, he throws that pitch so hard and it really tries to rip down over the top. He got a good fastball, a live arm. And sometimes that breaking ball can be elusive.
He's down with a fastball. 2-0.
Well, this is what hurt the Boston bullpen in yesterday's ball game. Bad counts, those 4 walks that we highlighted. Not nearly the margin for error as they are working with here tonight.
The pop-up, playable, caught on the infield by Ramirez. And the Rays going to walk, leave a man, and we're going to go to the 9th. 1-0 Boston. Turned in by Rob Refsnyder, who started in left field tonight. Not a ball hit by Xander Bogaerts out there, and a nice straight in catch by Refsnyder. Nicely done.
Well, that catch right there for the time being kept Boston off the scoreboard. That ball falls in the earlier lead.
Retired the side in the 4th inning when they had 2 men on with 2 men out. Bernard Span in the game now stays on to play left. Joey Wendell stays in to play second base. And here's J.D. Martinez. Pitch is a strike. Rays and the Red Sox, a sellout yesterday of a little over 31,000, better than 19,000 here tonight. Pitch is down. Andres had a 1-2-3/8 when he got Betts on a ground ball. Benintendi on a pop foul and Ramirez on a strikeout. Greg Kimbrell is up in the bullpen for Boston. You go to the 9th behind this club, it does not get easy. One and two. Sweeping pitch that was fouled. Price tonight in the 7 innings he worked had 2 3-ball counts. How's that? He went 3-2 to Duffy in the 6th, 3-1 to Crone in the 4th. Made 76 pitches in 7 innings.
That's what it tells you. Being in control. He was in complete control, averaging fewer, albeit by a hair, fewer than 11 pitches per inning. We saw that high water mark was what, the 4th inning? He threw 16 pitches.
That's it.
I mean,
ground ball headed to short. Echeverria's throw is on the money to get J.D. Martinez for the out. One out with the bases empty in the ninth. Xander Bogaerts up here. Bogaerts has scored the only run of this game. One strikeout. He doubled to lead off the seventh. Scored on the base hit to center by Devers, and that's been it. Drives it toward deep right center field. That has trouble written on it, off the wall. Good carom to Kiermaier. Throw to second, and he is safely in there. Well, they got a great carom. And it's a double by Bogaerts, his second of the night.
That ball drilled out into right center field, but Kevin Kiermaier, blessed with elite speed. He's an elite defender, also has a very strong and accurate arm. And watch this, plays it very well, turns, throws, no wasted movement, almost gets it. They'll stay on that bag, they'll hold that tag on. Body, leg, anything.
Winds up with a heel anchored on that bag.
That's where you go to replay and know all about that.
Look for that nanosecond when the foot lifts off the bag. You're out.
Yeah.
Ground ball third. Picked up by Duffy. Nice play. Over to third goes Bogaerts. Devers, who drove in the run back in the seventh inning, advances Bogaerts to third and is the second out of the ninth.
Trying to sneak it through. Matt Duffy having none of that. That ball's actually almost by him before he gloves it, spins and throws.
Now Eduardo Nunez. Rays in the bottom of the ninth have Kiermaier, Gomez, and Crone due up. Are critical to get out of the top of the ninth. Put a 0 on the board. And Reese and Nunez the matchup. 1-0. There's a strike. 1-1. Rays have been out hit 7-4. We're in the top of the ninth. And 2. Nunez out after the fastball.
Overpowered right there on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Matt Andriese using that changeup to the fastball backwards, and you gain some miles per hour.
Swing and a miss. It gets away. The throw to first is just in time. Ramos got the carom turned and threw a strike at first to get Nunez. And boy, that was close over there. Rays have left the field, but Laz Diaz wants a return. There's a swing and a miss. And wasting little time. The throw from Ramos and it was there in time.
Yes, it was.
So the Red Sox are thinking they might want to challenge that. But boy, what a throw by Ramos.
Yeah, I mean, no wasted movement whatsoever, showing off a cannon of an arm. The ball gets through the 5-hole. He gets the carom, gets it down to first base, and he gets it there in time. That ball right into the back of that glove.
Yep, that was quick. He's out. And so we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's a 1-0 ball game. Kimbrel will make his way in from the bullpen, and the Rays will have Kiermaier, Gomez, and Cron coming up. Finish indeed. Craig Kimbrel, he has been dominant against the Rays. He's been dominant against everybody for that matter. But boy, I'll tell you, when you look at the numbers he's put up against the Rays, they're really out of this world. Take a look at this.
I mean,
23 Ks
in 9 innings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a no-hitter. Close to a perfect game.
1 walk. Well, here we go to the bottom of the 9th.
They've had all winter to figure it out. See how that goes.
Kevin Kiermaier to lead off. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And there's a pitch that goes down and in and all the way to the backstop. 1-0. Well, Kiermaier, that walk we're talking about, that belongs to Kiermaier.
You've got the blistering fastball. You've got the snapdragon hook.
Here we are. Strike called. 1-1. Foul ball back on the fastball. You got fastball in the upper 90s, curveball in the upper 80s. Have at it.
It's got that violent arm action. Such a quick arm. Big finish out in front.
Cut and a miss on the fastball. 97.
Yeah, he's got that intimidating pterodactyl-like start.
Yep.
Comes set, pretty smooth through the delivery, and then the hand finish out in front. And that 97-mile-an-hour fastball has some late life to it.
Well, Carlos Gomez will bat. He's 0 for 3 and 1 out of 6 with a couple strikeouts against Kimbrel. And there's an opening breaking ball. Strike one. Rays down to their final 2 outs, trailing 1-0. The only run came in the 7th inning, singled home by Rafael Devers. Foul out of play, 0-2. This was a hookup between 2 quality lefties. Price was about as good as you can be through 7. And Blake Snell, very good. Pitched 2 outs into the 6th. A ball, 2 strikes now. Price and Rowe are the pitchers of record. Gomez at the plate. Crone on deck. The foul ball. Fastball 97. Strike 3 called. Gomez looking for that pitch to be a little wide, and it's called out on strikes. Here's the other thing about Kimbrel. Last year, with all those strikeouts against the Rays, he struck out almost half the hitters he faced.
Yeah.
49.6% of the hitters faced. See you later on the strikeout. 2 strikeouts here in the 9th, and now C.J. Crone. The pitch is a strike, a fastball. Crone in his career 0 for 2 against the right-hander Kimbrel. It's 1-1. I mean, you get to the point where it's a moral victory if you make contact, put the ball into play against him. Crone has done that in each of his at-bats, and Ramos is on deck, who has actually 2 hits off him. He's 2 for 10 off him, so he's hot against him. You want to get him up there.
Scalding.
So keep the game going and give Ramos a chance. Ooh, big cut and a miss right there. 95 on the pitch and a big swing and miss. It's 1-2.
Kind of lulls you to sleep once again. Very smooth through the delivery. Climb the ladder. 95. Crone looking to tie this game with that swing.
Up and away. 2-2. It's Ramos on deck. Ball 3. There you are. Another fastball up and away. So Crone has taken the right-hander Kimbrel to a 3-2 count. And a cut and a miss. This game is over. Kimbrel came back with a fastball to end it and strikes out Crone, strikes out the side. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 9th for the Rays, and the Red Sox win this one 1-0 on the heels of the Rays win last evening 6-4. It's a 1-0 Boston win today. Price will get the win. Rowe takes the loss, and Kimbrel picks up his first save. And here is the final pitch of the night.
Right into your living room. Good luck with that. Top of the strike zone. Tough to get on top of. Almost impossible to lift.
1-7-0 for Boston with 6 left. 0-4-0, 4 left for the Rays. Price 1-0, Rowe 0-1 before 19,203 at Tropicana Field. For Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast, if not the outcome. Rays, Red Sox tomorrow. We'll be with you right here. Rays Live, the post game comes your way next.